It's recording right now. Okay, my name is Felix Garcia. This is my niece Michelle Ramirez, and today we're here to talk about our DNA part two. So today we're going to start with names of our grandparents and her great grandparents and her grandparents, which are my parents. And if we whatever pictures we have and their names and whatever dates we have of their births and so on. So we're going to start with my dad's side of the family, and another part three will come later on my mom. Part four will be her parents. So, okay, go ahead and start with names and whatever you have. Whatever picture you don't have, I will submit.
Okay.
You're gonna show them your live, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So I will
Speak
start
louder.
off. I will be starting off with my grandpa Cirilo. Today's video will consist of information about him and his parents and his grandparents and his great grandparents. I believe that I have been able to reach up to my fifth great grandparent up his line of the tree. And we're going to go ahead and start off with his name. His name was Cirilo Ochoa Garcia, and he was born September 11th of 1927.
Mm-hmm.
And he was born in Taylor, Texas. He recently passed away June 2018 here in Yuba City, California, where our most of our family resides today. Not all of us, of course, but a lot of us. And some information that I found about him was I found a draft registration card for him, and in that, sorry. And with the draft card that we found, it was registered in the state of Colorado in the United States, and the date that it is dated is October 22nd of 1915. And I'm gonna open it up just so that way we can take a look at it. Okay, so this here is the draft card of my grandfather. We can't. Let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. Let's zoom in. Right. So if you see, it has his name, and it does have a photo of the back, and in the back it actually states his height at the time. And okay, so it's also showing us photos of him. I don't know when this photo was taken. I don't know how old he was. I wish I knew. I don't think Theo knows. Do you know Theo? Yeah, no one remembers. I'm not gonna
say I don't know.
Yeah, we can't say. We're not really sure. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. And that's actually my grandmother in the photo with him, Francisca de Leon Garcia.
Moreno on her father's side.
Moreno on her mother's side. Moreno, yeah. Uh-huh. And that's them again. That's the draft card. Anyhow, when it comes to my grandfather's line, we were able to find his um, grandfather, which I found very, very interesting when we first stumbled upon the photo. We were not the first ones to find it. My cousin Ray Weiler, he was the first one to find that photo. So I can't say I was the first one, but when I found it, I was very, very excited and happy. And we are going to go to my great grandpa, which is Cerilo's father, Jesus Garcia, We do not have his birth month, but we know we have an estimate that he was born in 1903 in Guadalajara, Jalisco, and I was able to find a death certificate for him dated February 1st, 1944 in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, Mexico. And his father was Cirilo Garcia. I will go back to his wife, my great grandmother, in just a minute. I just want to be able to show you that photo real quick before I jump into my grandmother. This is the photo that we found that Ray Weiler had found at first. His name was Cirilo Garcia. And upon my research, I have been able to find more information about that family line. I have met more family members, but we will get into that in a bit. I'm going to go back to my great grandmother Isabel Ochoa because we cannot skip her because she is a part of my grandpa my grandpa Cirilo Garcia's life because, of course, that's his mother. So we are going to go back and we're not going to jump too much ahead of ourselves. Tio, do you want to add anything, Tio?
Yes, bear with me. I'm trying to find. This is some of the places. I don't know if you're able to see that. It probably is gonna come out backwards. The names are gonna come out backwards. But
Maybe
this is
you can read
it
it.
came out from San Antonio, then went to Nuevo León, Matamoros, Tamaulipas. Um, what else? Nuevo León, Chula. How do you say it?
I think it says it there. Let's see. What name does that say there, Tio?
How do you say that name?
Coahuila, I believe.
Coahuila in Mexico. So that's the best I can do because everything is backwards. So you're just gonna have to kind of figure out in the map in Mexico where those places are at. So far, that's what I had to share.
Okay. And that map is really important to Grandpa Cirilo Garcia because that is where Grandma Isabel Ochoa and also um, her family, including our Garcia family, they're from those areas. They traveled from those areas. Some of them had kids in those areas. So that's why that is important for him to share. So great grandma Isabel Ochoa. I before my research, I did not have any photos of her. I didn't know much of her. I didn't know much of my family, honestly. To be honest, I guess growing up, I didn't take the time to research it and find the interest in it. The interest came to me to research my family when my grandmother Francisca Garcia was really sick and before she passed. And since I've started the research, I this is what I've been able to find: photos of Grandma Isabel. I've been able to find photos of her grave spot, and that's really beautiful for me to be able to see. And I really appreciate our cousin Patsy Garcia that put the money towards putting a grave post for great grandma Isabel because I think if I heard correctly, it wasn't there before, and I heard cousin Patsy did have something to do with that. So I do appreciate that. But we're gonna go ahead and share some photos here that I have been able to find during my research. Um, the very top photos is great grandma Isabel Ochoa as an adult, and then this photo here is her as a looks maybe like a
Younger version.
preteen. Yeah.
Younger version.
Mhm. This one here is the grave spot, and this one is a current, recent one for Mother's Day that they just recently shared with us. Yes, I can help you. Give me just a second, okay? And this is an area in San Antonio where great grandma Isabel lived with great grandpa Jesus Garcia. And when they lived there. I was able to find that out through census records. Honestly, I found the address and I googled it, and I found that, and that's the area. Of course, the houses are updated now and don't look the same like they did before.
I believe this is the house right here.
Yes, that's right.
That's the house right there.
You can click it, Theo. It'll enlarge for them.
Okay.
I know. I got it. I got it.
That is the house right there.
There you go. Yep.
That's where my grandfather used to live in San Antonio, Texas.
That's a current
And
updated
it's
photo.
a current updated photo of the home.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy? Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else?
And then you can go ahead and
How do I
go
back it up?
back and maybe go to the actual photo of them
Where do I go here?
of Grandma Isabel.
Yeah, I don't know how to do your tablet.
There's
What do
we
you back
can
it up?
go
Oh,
this
right
way.
there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's the that's her as a preteen. You want to share that photo?
And that's my grandmother right there. I don't know her age, but she was young there. She passed away, I believe, either 1985 or 1986 of an aneurysm. I remember her passing away. I was there when she passed. What else, Mom? Here. Bear with us for a minute. We'll get it. More info.
You want to share that photo?
85.
Yep, you were right. There's the date. There's the actual date.
There is her tombstone. So she died in 1985. I was actually there when she passed. I saw her pass, and I distinctly remember. Okay, let me see what else we got here for y'all. There you go. I'll let you do this. The reason we're doing this live video on YouTube is in hope of us maybe someone recognizing names and who is related to us, maybe distant cousin or a close cousin, and is able to help us with our tree, is able to shine some light on who we are, who we come from. I know that we are Native Americans by what some of our cousins are telling us. And I know by doing my DNA show, I am Native American, and I am and I am the oldest out of 12. I lost two, and I also inherit some Spaniards. So did my sister, my children, and my niece. So we want maybe someone could help us by seeing this and maybe confirming it, who the ones on our tree, if any of them do they recognize as their ancestors. So that's what one of the reasons we're doing it, and sharing our loved ones, our ancestors with you all. So here's my niece again.
So while Theo was talking, I was opening up a record that I found of the death record of my grandpa, Jesus Garcia, my great grandfather, sorry. He's the father of Grandpa Cirilo Garcia. And the death record, excuse me, it states that it was recorded in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, and it does say it states that who his parents were. It states that his parents Cirilo Garcia y Teresa Fierros, and that was important to us to find on this death record while researching our family because my Uncle Felix has some papers that were my grandpa's before he passed. And on the papers, it mentions, you okay, honey? It mentions Cirilo Garcia and Tereso Fierros as Grandpa Cirilo's parents. So when we found this record,
It confirmed it.
it confirmed it for us.
It
It
confirmed it
confirmed
for us.
it, and it brought peace to our heart.
Yeah.
And like he said, that's why we're doing this, to share our family with you. That's what we're doing, you know. So
Our family, our ancestors, our history, who they are,
mhm,
who they were.
who they were, and something really interesting. I was able to track down some family who are from this side of the tree, and they reside in Oregon. And when I spoke with them, they were able to share with me that Cirilo Garcia and Teresa Fierros visited East LA with some of their daughters, Soledad Garcia and Erlinda Garcia. Um, her name is Linda now. Linda Linden is her name now. But she was able to share with me how Teresa Fierros passed away. She was able to share how Cirilo Garcia passed away. She did say that while visiting East LA, they didn't like it very much, so they did move back to Guadalajara, Jalisco, and that is where they both passed away, in Guadalajara, Jalisco. The way they passed away were tragic. I don't want to share that right now. Maybe
Isn't
in
this
another time.
crazy?
But
Isn't this wonderful? I mean, we're beginning to learn who our loved ones were, what they did, where they went, what they achieved, and everything.
mhm,
So back to my niece.
mhm. And we're gonna go back a little bit out from this record, and I'm gonna see if there's anything else that we can share. While researching Grandpa Jesus Garcia, I was able to find death records, of his sons that did pass away. We won't share how they passed away. I won't share that. Of course not. I won't share that. That's something different. But it's really interesting how we're able to find those things and confirm who our family is. The reason why I wanted to share, why I mean, that I found these documents is because it confirms for us that we are on the right track in who we are finding. Just in case someone might have doubt in what we are finding, just in case they might think, well, how do they even know that that really is their family? Well, the records are not lying.
Is that Jesus Ochoa Garcia?
That's correct.
One of the reasons we're on that topic is because we know he has a daughter, and we don't know who she is. I never met her, and even when I was growing up, I knew her only as a baby. So he left the daughter and the mother of the daughter, but I have no clue. We have no clue who she is. Unfortunately, we don't know who she is, and maybe she'll see this video and maybe she'll connect with us.
True.
And we're hoping to.
True. That's right.
Okay.
And so, leading up from Grandpa Jesus Garcia, great grandpa, that takes us up to, let's not skip his wife. We can talk a little bit about her, Maria Teresa Fierro. Um, so about Maria Teresa Fierros, I was able to find out information about our Fierros family, some stuff that I won't share right now. Save that for maybe a later time. But what I will share is that, yeah, I will share that I was able to find that she was an Aztec Indian. um, we do not have a photo of her right now, but the contact that we have in Oregon, she has a photo of her, and she will be sharing it with us soon. And when we get that, we can share that later on. We did find out though that she was baptized in San Pedro Parish in Jalisco. And that is important because while I was doing my research, I was able to find out that that parish had connections to a parish in Southern California during the time of Spaniard colonization. And the interesting thing about the reason why that I want to share that is because my uncle recently he called the Shumash tribe in
San Luis
Santa
Obispo.
Cruz, are they?
San Luis Obispo.
Okay, and so I know that they have various
They've got
tribes,
various of the
right?
tribes,
They have more than
different places.
one, right?
They got one
Yeah.
in San Diego, I believe one in San Luis, and they got about 4 tribes, I believe.
Mhm.
And I call one,
Mhm.
but I need to confirm more information about her before they
So
can
what
help
were
me.
you able to find, Theo, when you called?
We need to. I need her. The date that she passed.
Mhm.
I have the date that she was born, and before they can tell me if they have her on her books, I need the date of her passing. The date, month, and year.
So if anybody out there that is watching this and these names sound familiar and then the dates may sound
Oh no,
familiar to
not
you.
her, not her. Brisno.
Oh, you're right.
Our apology. We're in the wrong. Not this.
That was she wasn't the one that you called for, huh?
No, not for her. For Brisno.
That's right,
Yeah,
Briseño or
Briseño.
Briseño line.
Yeah, Briseño line. Our apology.
Our apology.
But
We
it
were
wouldn't hurt if anybody knows if this great grandparent of ours has any Native American, behind her. We
absolutely
know for a fact that she was
Aztec.
Aztec, but she could have been part Native American or part Spaniard.
Mhm.
So if somebody has an ancestor related to her, would help us in that area.
Mhm. Mhm. That's right.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're gonna go back to Grandpa Cerritos' grandpa, right? So we're gonna go back to see this in the tree, so that way we can go ahead and choose. So we're gonna go back to Grandpa Jesus because right now that's gonna take us up to Grandpa Isabel. Okay, so that after Jesus Garcia, that will take us to Cirilo Garcia. We mentioned him earlier a little bit, and we're gonna go back to him, and we're gonna mention that we have a date of birth for him. We have July 9th, 1869, in La Joya Grande, Zapolteanejo, Jalisco, Mexico. I was able to make a contact with a distant cousin. He's my fourth to fifth cousin, and interesting thing about meeting him was that he mentioned that the family that lived there at the time, their descendants still live there in Zapotlanejo. So
Wow.
yeah, I find that
Crazy.
really interesting. So we got family over there that we've never even met.
We never knew.
Yeah.
We don't know who they are.
Yeah, we
We
don't
have
know
no
them. They
idea.
don't know us.
And we're open to meet known family members. Don't get us wrong.
That's
Whether
right.
it be third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh cousin, we don't know. As long as we're family, we're family. We're family. That's all that matters.
That's right. That's right. So let's see. What else should we share
Go up his
about
line.
his parents? Yeah,
His
parents.
president.
So we're gonna do Marciano Garcia, his father.
Marciano Garcia, his father.
Should we state maybe the children of Cirilo Garcia?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so let's go back to Cirilo.
Definitely, because somebody might recognize those names.
Okay, so the children of Cirilo were Maria Catalina Garcia, Victorian Garcia Fierros, Soledad Garcia, Jesus Garcia, Erlinda Garcia, and Maria Guadalupe Garcia. And it's they said that the girls were raised together. They were younger in age and they were all raised together. The boys were more independent, and when they were old enough, they took off from their terreno, their land where they were living and raised with their families, and they went to go live in different areas where they had other families and started their own lives. For example, great grandpa Jesus Garcia, he moved to El Defe and he worked at a hotel there. We don't know which hotel. We would love to find out, but we don't know where. And his brother Victorian Garcia did the same thing. He moved away from the ranch and started his own life. They don't really know where because the boys didn't keep much in touch. So if anybody maybe Victorian Garcia Fierros, born in 1896, died 1967. If that may maybe your ancestor make sound familiar, send us a message.
You know, any
That
of
would
those
be
names.
nice.
On
Yeah.
any of those
We
names, do
look
you
forward
recognize those names?
to hear from you guys.
Being
Yeah,
children
any
of
of those
Cirilo
names.
Garcia.
Yeah, that's right. Even if you are descendant of Maria Catalina Garcia, we're welcome to hear from you guys. I mean, excited actually, not welcome. You are welcome to message us. Marciano Garcia, father of Cirilo Garcia. We don't have his date of birth, but we have an about,
Yeah,
which is
more or less.
about 1839, born in Guadalajara, Jalisco. We have his death date as January 9th, 1885. He's my third great grandfather, and he married Trinidad Victoriana Nuño Garcia. She was born 1838 and died in 1896. They had, let's see, five sons and two daughters. One of their sons was Isidro Garcia, Cerrilo Garcia, Modesto Garcia Nuño, Nino Garcia, Arresto Garcia, Dolores Crescencia Garcia, and Emilia Garcia. So, should we go into Trinidad's or
Yes,
yeah?
yes,
Okay.
only her. Everything else.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about his wife. We're not gonna skip her because she was my third great grandmother. Her name was Trinidad Victoriana Garcia.
Nino Garcia.
Nuño Garcia, sorry. And we have an about date of year for birth, which is 1838, and we have a death date of August 22nd, 1896. We got the death dates and birth dates that we do have. We have them because we found those records through the family search tool that Ancestry has. So we have about dates for some of them because those records are still um, out there somewhere. We don't have those records yet, unfortunately. So a little bit about her. She's important because this is the side of the tree that we were mentioning earlier about the Chumash tribe when we talked about my uncle calling the Chumash tribe. This is the line that he called about. So her parents were Nazario Nuño and Maria Nicanor Briseño. That's I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing Nicanor
Date of
correctly.
birth.
But we have a date year for her, for the mother. We have
Here's the date of.
1814,
You got the date there. I knew
and
it.
we have a death year only, but that's only in about.
That's about okay.
Yeah, that's only in about. We have about 1830 for her death date. For her date of birth, we have February 10th, 1814, in La Joya Grande, Zapotanejo, Jalisco, Mexico.
So if someone can confirm that, we would appreciate it.
Oh yeah, we would. We would really appreciate that because that could help us find our connections to our family with the Shumash tribe, and we would really appreciate that. So we do have a baptism record for her, February 18th, 1814, and that was at La Purísima Concepción in Zapotanejo, Jalisco. And for her, she was married to Nazario Nuño, and her sons were Jose Nuño Briceño, Juana Nuño, and Trinidad Victoriana Nuño Garcia, and Juan Jose Nuño. During my research with this line, I was able to find records in a book that was called El Bautismo de Indios. And it is a record of baptisms that were conducted in Jalisco, Mexico and bautismo de indios means baptism of Indians. So that is why we came to believe that this is also a Native American line in our family. Um, Next to her record, it does state that she was Española, but it doesn't state that what tribe she was from, you know. Um, so we would like to know if maybe somebody knew what tribe she was from. That would be really nice if somebody could share that with us. As her parents, we have Jose Luciano Briseño and Maria Andrea Macias. An interesting thing about that name, Macias.
Sounds like a Native American name.
Oh, yeah, and I recently found a woman that lives here in Yuba City. Her last name is Macias. So I was really intrigued by that. But her siblings were Jose Rosario Briseño and Josef de la Cruz Briseño. Rosario, we have a birth year of 1815. For Josef de la Cruz, we have a birth year for him of 1817. As of now, that is all we have. There may be more information out there for her, but right now that's all we have. I will be looking on Family Search for more information for her. So we're gonna go back a little bit. And we're gonna open up her mother in my tree. That way so I can see where exactly I'm at. Okay, so for her mother, Maria Nor Briseño, her daughter, well, okay, we still have this side of the family also, so I don't know if you want me to go up this side and this
What
side.
What side?
The Briseños. We go ahead and list the Briseños. We have Briseño
Yes,
family out
yes,
there that
yeah,
could
I
be
know that.
watching.
Let's do
Yeah,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So we're going to go into more depth of who else we have in our Briseño and our Nuño tree. So we're going to go ahead and finish off our Briseño line because it's not as long as the Nuño line that I have so far. So for our Briseño line, we have Maria Andrea Macias was the last ancestor that I mentioned. And for her, we have her father as Pedro Macias and her mother as Maria Josefa Munoz. Okay, we're gonna open up Pedro Macias just to see if I have any record of where he was from. I don't think I do. I don't really have much about him. So if any of his descendants that I have listed, if any of those sound familiar to you, I would love to hear from you. You may have more information about Pedro Macias for me that I don't have. And he was my sixth great grandfather, is what I have.
And that makes him my fifth great grandfather.
Mm-hmm. And for the Briseño line, I mentioned Jose Luciano Briseño. He married Maria Andrea Macias. His father was Alexandro Briseño, and his mother was Maria Salome Ramirez. And that's all we have right now about our Briseño family. Unfortunately, I need to do more digging and look for more records. So on our Nuño side, we have Nazario Nuño as a father of Trinidad Nuño Garcia. And Nazario Nuño, his father was Manuel Nuño, and his mother was Maria C. Alvarez. We do not have where he was from, but Few Lines is wanting to give us some information that I'll have to look into later. We have his wife as Maria C. Alvarez. We'll go into her parents in a minute because her tree is a little bit longer. So Manuel Nuño, his father was Teodoro Nuño, and his mother was Maria de Almaraz. For Maria de Almaraz, we have her father as Juan Antonio de Almaraz, and her mother as Maria Efigenia Lupercio. Okay. And the way I was able to find those names was because I found records of Maria de Almaraz that stated her parents' names, and I was able to put those into the tree. But other than that, we don't have much information about them. If I open up Maria de Almaraz, let's see. So she was baptized in Zapoltanejo, Jalisco. So I am assuming that her parents may have been born in Zapoltanejo or at least resided there or near Zapoltanejo. We're going to go back. That was my sixth great grandmother. And
Let us
for,
backtrack a little bit. We forgot one thing.
okay, what's that?
On Isabel Ochoa,
Mm-hmm.
her name was Isabel Armendares Ochoa, my grandmother, the wife of Jesus Garcia. We forgot to mention that. Isabel Ochoa Armendares.
Mm-hmm. And do you want to go ahead and mention why Almendares was there?
Uh, if there's any Armendares, they would, well, yeah, you could mention that.
Because it's important to mention it because the Almendares family comes into our line, and I was able to actually track down somebody who is an Almendares descendant, and had direct ties to Cirilo Garcia. She knew him, met him, has photos of him, and of his mother Isabel Ochoa Almendares Garcia. And the reason why it's important to mention the Almendares connection is because the Almendares comes into play into our family because our great great grandmother Juana Maria Niño de Ochoa, she did not only marry Isabel's father, so she married Isabel's father, which was Roman Ochoa, but she also married Juan Jose Almendares, I believe his name
I believe
was.
so.
And Juan Jose Almendares had a lot of brothers. Mom, say hello, Mom, to YouTube. She's camera shy. She's not going to say hello.
Oh, and so my grandmother had sisters, have sisters.
That's
And that's
right.
when Armendares come.
And because that's right, that's absolutely correct. And she in the
Wanna
back
go get her
she
car?
carried Almendares because
I
her
think.
sisters, some of her sisters and brothers carried Almendares.
Want the water?
Her mother carried
It's cold water right
Almendares
there.
while she was married to Juan Almendares because
20 minutes.
after
It was Marysville.
Marysville.
I think so.
When Isabel
Call 'em.
lived in Mexico, she was married to Ramon Ochoa. When she left Mexico, she did not leave with Ramon Ochoa. She left with her new husband, Juan Jose Almendares.
No se la
And they, I was told that the Almendares family did marry some of my Ochoa great great uncles. So it's really important to mention that because there may be someone out there that may know about that connection and may have more information that they might want to share or even photos that they might want to share. That would be awesome. And if we go back in to talking about Maria C. Alvarez, the mother of Nazario Nuño, we were talking about her parents. Her parents were Jose Francisco Alvarez and Antonia Nuño. I just returned my dad. And Jose Francisco's father was Joseph Alvarez, and his mother was Nicolasa R. Robles Arias. And for her, we have a date of birth of September 17th, 1713. And we have Tonala, Jalisco, as the date of, I'm sorry, place of birth. And her date of death, we have June 3rd, 1777. And it has La Punta, Zapotanejo, Jalisco as her the
Place of
area
residence.
where she died. Yeah, where she was residing when she died. And for her, we have her parents so far. We have, as her parents, we have her mother as Mencia de la Rosa Arias Torres. And for her father, we have Sebastian Robles Moya. And this Torres name now rings a bell to me because we've recently come into contact with a cousin through Ancestry and GEDmatch, who her last name is
It's
Torres,
Torres.
and we've been talking to her a lot lately. So we may want to look into this connection
Let me see her
a little
name.
bit more, and
Let me see her
it
name.
might lead us to connect with her. So we'll see. But so far that is what we have for our tree of our Garcia side, and that is not including
Her name is
Choa.
Elida Torres. Our cousin that we just found out. She invited me to a different website to help us out. But that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But this is her name is Elida Torres.
Okay. And it's honestly, it's not the only Torres name now that I think about it that I've been able to find. I can remember finding also a Torres name connected to our Choa family.
Wow.
Hmm. I can't remember, but it was it's not like a direct ancestor where it's a great great grandma. It's through marriage with one of our like great uncles.
Okay.
So we never know though, because since
No.
we're DNA matched, that could well be also where we may be related to her.
So let's not make this longer than an hour because then nobody want to watch it.
Okay, I think
So
that's it for today, and then we can go
no,
into.
go ahead and
You want to?
where are you at right now? What grandparent?
Because right now we just finished up our Garcia line.
It's done already, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The only thing to do is to go into our Ochoa side from Grandpa Cirilo side, because so this video right here is only going to consist of Grandpa Cirilo Garcia side, and then we could do a video later on, or another day, where it consists of our Ochoa family.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to make this video too long because I don't want to, people don't want to watch it because it's too long.
Yeah, that's right.
Right now it's 42 minutes long. So enough. I think it's long enough. We are going to post more information, hopefully pictures and dates like it did today.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this is helpful to some of our cousins, and maybe we can connect more closely if we are able to connect our ancestors together.
Yes.
Which is very important. Again, I'm hoping to find a direct link and direct descendant or ancestor of ours who is Native American and also Spaniard that is connected through us and whoever else is out there. Anyway, thank you. Please watch our video and hit like and hit subscribe. Mm-hmm. And I want to put it out there. I'm going to put it on Facebook, GD Match, and on YouTube. This is going to be on YouTube. So, anyway, thank you very much for taking the time. I hope you watch our video. We will be posting more videos slowly, my niece and I.
We can even add it onto Ancestry.
You know what? We can also add it to Ancestry.
Yeah, we can add it to Grandpa Cerilo's page.
Yes, that's a good idea. She's going to do it for me. Yeah, and I'll watch it, then I can do it. Anyway, again, thank you very much for taking the time.
They can find our tree on Ancestry. It's a public tree. It's called Las Vías del Norte. So
say it again, Mija. Repeat it again.
Las Vías del Norte Descendants. So if you guys want to look it up on Ancestry, it's public. You guys can look it up and look at it yourselves if you want. You
can watch it under Michelle Ramirez or under Felix Garcia, both out of Yuba City, California. Okay. Thank you, everybody, very much. God bless you all. And we hope to hear that you are watching our video and hit subscribe and hit like. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.